took its time, both this review and this chapter to be released, but lastly, finally, Eden no Zero Chapter 6 came out. Thief. Last time, the mysterious criminal surrounded Shiki and Rebecca and Happy, and now they attack again, as they demand to know if they are with Wiess, and they don't say they are not. Apparently, this gangster, uh, Sibir, has a pet owl or pet bird or whatever that he talks to. Creates a little bit of a funny joke when Happy is the one who says, "That guy's talking with that bird." Well, we also talk to a cat, you know. Although technically, Happy is no longer a cat, he's a robot cat, but he still could talk even when he was a normal cat. So Rebecca suggests they should run away, mostly because of that little theory, you know. They're in the past, therefore they can very well affect it. And blah 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 blah. You know how that works. I'm not saying blah 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 because it's boring. I'm saying that because we have all heard that the past can affect the future. Shiki doesn't exactly understand what is going on, but he helps her escape by using his gravity powers. That it actually is pretty good detailed in the manga, almost looking like uh, they are tilting. I think that's giving a describing on how Shiki's gravity power works. Basically, it's not like he is manipulating the environment to become like that, but it looks like that for the people affected by the gravity, meaning he's actually twisting his body uh, all around in order, well, not twisting his body, twisting the environment sort of around himself. Either way, they fly away as the gangsters fire missiles, and it becomes quite a speedy missile outrunning pace. Looks pretty cool to see someone flying away without any wings. At least it's confirmed that this version of Happy do not have angel wings, otherwise he would have flown away. Then again, this version of Happy is a robot, so even if he did have angel wings, he probably doesn't have that anymore. So, but then Gabir catches on and about to deliver a powerful punch, but Shiki shows a new cool move where he gathers a black hole into his fist and delivers a punch of himself. That of course breaks the arm of Gabir in one hit. One is gonna complain about that, but that's typical how Hiromashima works though. You know, he managed to break the robot, but it doesn't knock out the guy doing it. Either way, as they all run away, Gabir awakens, and we see he also has a robot hand. It looks vaguely very similar to when Shiki actually used his ether gear into punching that everything else. As he then says that they will definitely come back. Elsewhere, they then decides to hide in a bar. We actually see the aliens of this manga for the first time. I mean, we have all traveled around space, so it's only obvious that this world, this manga world, would have aliens, you know. We see bunny ladies, yeah, literally bunny ladies, pig people, and horns, and many things more. Shiki's a bit amazed by all of this, but, well, it's just how it is. He still wants to be friend, but, well, it is how it is. And then they begin to wonder what they're gonna do, since they're 50 years in the past and all they can do is eat. Yeah. Hey, that is definitely Rebecca's biggest quirk, a very big eater. So, they mentions that in the 50 years ago, you know, in the future, the older Professor Wise always said he used this bar to hang out or a hideout for him. And sure enough, they run into young Wise not too long after, as he then explains the situation, even that they are a cat and who Wiess is in the future. They even show the photo, proving that it still is canon, but the biggest shock for Wiess is apparently that his hair is becoming thin. Well, I can relate to that. This hair of mine do not grow as much as I want to, but we're not talking about me right now. So, he found it hard to believe, but it is what it is. And it's not exactly known yet on how Thief Wise became a professor. It's even pretty adorable on how Rebecca and Happy gives adorable faces. Say, when will you become a professor? Come on, grow up. So Shiki asks what he stole from them, but Wise refused to answer. As then suddenly Shiki mentions in Granville they had a job call thief, and Wise decides not to tell them anything more, and also that if they are from the future, they shouldn't damage this era any more than they already have to. Well, I do hope we will get an answer on why time slips do happen in this manga, but Xiaomei did say last time that time is not an issue here. But then suddenly Shiki takes the case and decides to play thief. He really does have an immature mind, but that's just, I guess, just one of the charm of his personality. Then suddenly his gravity power gets shut off as the box opens, and here is the biggest kicker. Wise says my money, but when he sees what's inside of this case, he reacts with extreme surprise, meaning that last weekend he said, I'm not gonna let that hand over to Sibir. Maybe the past Wise really was a thief that only stole money. Because inside of the box is a robot girl. Well, not a robot girl, not like Outlaw Star. No, almost like a. How can we describe it? Robot fairy? I mean, it doesn't have fairy wings, but it's. Or does it? It does have some sort of small butterfly like symbol. Whatever. It's basically a little doll in the shape of a girl who says, "You handle me quite roughly, master." Who is this little robot? Why did Wise be so surprised when he saw it? And more than that, is this given a hint on how Wise became who he is? Because you think about it, Wise did say one very wise point. Sorry, that was a pun that was not intended. What I'm trying to say is, he said to Rebecca and Co. not to disturb this timeline any more than they had to. And while we still do not know yet exactly how time works in this manga, what I'm trying to say is, isn't it possible that the Wise of the future is gonna become who he is thanks to Rebecca and Co. Because right now he appears to only be a thief, but he did have a garage, so to speak. So, by having this robot girl meeting Happy and Rebecca, isn't it likely that he will change? Is it possible that these time slips happens to correct something that is going wrong in the timeline? Who knows? That's just me speculating. Either way, it had some pretty fun moments. The chasing scene was pretty fun, and the bar scene there too, yeah, it was pretty fun. Not a remarkable chapter, but it wasn't bad either. But I'm still hungry for more. I'm just wants to know more about this story, because I cannot deny the story gets more exciting. Also, when the case opens and we see the robot chick, notice there's a cube there, exactly the same kind of cube that Rebecca has, only hers is a heart and Wise is a lightning. Coincidence? Is that a connection to Eden no Zero? Give me your thoughts if you have any.